Hello, people. It's your boy Osman back again. Finally got a bit of consistency. We can make some content again. So hopefully this week will be consistent. But nevertheless, we are back with the Rival Fan podcast. We missed a good weekend of football. I think everyone's team won, apart from Lawless. Lawless lost to UK. How did I forget? So Lawless's team lost, but everyone else was in good spirits. Just collecting 3 points. It is what it is. Man United still shit. Nothing's changed. Same old. Obviously, we'll go into a bit more detail regarding that next week. But today, we are going to be going through the Premier League 11 for the most overrated players. We have preference this season and this season only. However, if you want to bring logic from last season, Bruno Fernandes being the best example. Obviously, Man United fans were comparing Tyreek Cantona last season. So, I'm not going to be good if you mention Bruno Fernandes or Pogba, whoever it may be. Obviously, we'll get into that. The way it's going to work is we're going to go through all the positions as you can imagine. Obviously, each person will give their sort of preference. And then we potentially debate it, etc., depending on the situation. And then the group has to agree on one person, potentially from someone that we mentioned, or if there's someone else that someone wants to bring it to the table. Today we have got Kish, as always, representing Tottenham Hotspurs. Kish, how are you doing, my brother?
Yeah, I'm good. It's good to be back on the show. We've had a few weeks off, so hopefully a lot more content to come on in the coming weeks.
Absolutely, man. It's good to see you. Obviously, Tottenham won, so you're in good spirits. It makes a change. You love to see a back-to-back wins for the first time in your career. Love that. We've also got Cahil in the building, representing Arsenal as always. Cahil, how you doing, my guy?
Not too bad. I'm awake this week, so that's good. That's a start. I'll try not to fall asleep during the actual podcast, but that's up to you guys to give us some interesting things.
You love to see it. Kahl's not going to be happy with me today. I'll just say that.
I already know that, bro.
Homie representing Ghana, that 0-0 and that, and also representing West Ham today. We have got Kojo in the building. Kojo, how you doing, my guy?
Yeah, good, man. I can't complain. How you doing?
Yeah, not too bad. Man United have a room on weekend, so it's always a positive.
It's beautiful,
so you love to see it. And last but not least, finally, people, you've been asking for a Liverpool fan, and we have delivered. We have got Declan making his debut on the show. You love to see it. Declan, how you doing, my guy?
I'm good, as you say, lads. You love to see it. Just warning, if there's any outrageous Liverpool ones, then I'll be coming to challenge them.
Usman frozen.
I think he's crashed.
Right.
Frozen his own
one. Everything Declan said was spot on. Yeah, 100%. As you can see, my streamer is still not working. He's probably slagged off my United, but you know what? I'll probably agree with him anyway at this moment in time, so it's all good. So as you can quite clearly see, my streamer is still pissing about, so hopefully that will be sorted at some point. We've got a shout out, the cousin always showing love. We need Chris Rock. We are used to getting slapped. So, yeah. It is what it is. I can't knock it.
We need Will Smith to do the slapping.
Yeah, that's true. Actually, you probably need Will Smith actually, but you messed that one up. But I appreciate it. I will send you that back when I see you later on today. James, hi all. Yes, James, good to see you in the building. As always, drop a like, subscribe to the channel. If you are tuning in, if you're one of the 10 people that tune in, feel free to get yourselves involved. I'm sure there's going to be a lot of controversy. But let's just get straight into it. We're going to go through all the 11 positions. Obviously, there's going to be a lot of disagreement, which is obviously, it is what it is. But Kish, we'll start with you. First and foremost, goalkeeper. I'm assuming everyone's okay with 4-3-3. I didn't really ask, but I'd be happy. Yeah. I don't really give a shit, really, as long as it's not 3-5-2. Right, Kish, goalkeeper, get us started, mate. Obviously, give us a reason. You got to back you up, because if I do clip something and don't say it's out of context later, so give your reason to why you're saying that player's overrated, because you're going to get cooked otherwise.
Yeah, I'm personally going for Aaron Ramsdale. Reason being, and I'll make a few points. Post Layman, Arsenal have had tragedy after tragedy when it comes to the goalkeeping positions. I mean, let's not speak too much on Almunia, because he was an accident waiting to happen probably every 20 minutes of the game. Fabianski didn't put the mustard for Arsenal.
Have I missed anything important?
No, what I'm saying is Fabianski didn't cut the mustard, so he went to a dead team in West Ham.
That's
so
true.
that at least he found his level there. And then there was Bernd Leno, which had the same backing at the beginning, German international.
You're missing a few.
The next Messiah to Neuer. Didn't work out. And look, with Ramsdale, the one thing you can say is he's complete and utter blockbuster. I mean, in terms of the saves that are straight to him, the dives are just unbelievable. I mean,
wow.
You're talking absolute. I mean, even my iPhone just doesn't do it justice. You need drones for those kind of saves, and the Premier League has drones, and he knows that.
You know what? I will admit.
Well, look, the way I'm going to break it down is the bar was very, very low in Arsenal's goalkeeper positions.
I will admit, Kish, that he did channel with 15 years on the weekend.
So what I'm saying is, it wasn't too. You gonna let me speak? It wasn't too difficult to find another goalkeeper based on that trash that they had beforehand. To at least have someone that's there, but it's average in my opinion. He hasn't done anything so far from what I've seen, other than camera shot saves that are of good quality. But in general, I still think for what they paid, £35 million for a goalkeeper that's been relegated on numerous occasions for Premier League teams, is overrated. Again, there might be disagreements. I'm sure there will be.
You know what, Kish?
Overrated.
You've been speaking for almost 2 minutes on Ramsdale. You really don't like him, right? Obviously, Kane, it's only right that you get to rebuttal and defend your keeper.
How you feel about this?
I mean, he missed out a few goalkeepers in that Arsenal history that have actually done well. They've won a few trophies as well. I'd name Peter Cech. That's won a few more trophies than Tottenham have in the past 16 years. At Arsenal as well. David Ospina, I can count to that as well. So that there's two good goalkeepers that we can have reference to. Now, to get to the meat and bones of it, to the Ramsdale, yes, he does make camera saves, but the simple fact of the matter is he saves them. The point of a goalkeeper is to stop shots going in the back of the net. Now, he hasn't had a bad season. I think he's had a great season, to be honest with you. I think he's been one of the best goalkeepers in the league this year. That being said, how old is he? 23? So he's only going to get better from here. Has he made a few mistakes? Yes, like I alluded to, the near post shot where he channeled his inner Lloris. Fair play. Should have done better. Should have done better there, but he didn't. But as time goes on, as he grows older, as he becomes England number one, which he should be already now this season, I'm pretty sure tomorrow he will be starting. He's only going to get better from here, and he hasn't had a bad season. He's not been shocking. He's shown and proved over this entire season that those two relegations weren't on him.
No,
fair enough. Right, okay, Kiel, sticking with you. I don't know if anyone wants to add anything. Obviously, Balmer's jump in at any point.
My cousin's sitting right here, and he was just shaking his head in disgust at you. It's terrible, man. It's just terrible. And well, I know who Kiel's going for next, and it's not even like a thing.
Who am I going for? It's not even Lloris. I don't respect Lloris enough to say he's been overrated.
He's not rated, so we can't.
He's not rated. So how can he be overrated? It doesn't make sense. I agree with you.
Yeah, I don't rate him.
Okay, we love
you. I would say this, and I might get a few eyes. I'd say Ederson. I think Ederson has been overrated for his entire career at Manchester City. I don't think he's that good at shot stopping. He's great at distribution.
Distribution is what really says him
fantastic at distribution. Yeah. But he's been named up with Alisson. He's been named up with some other greats in the Premier League in recent years. And I just don't. I feel like because he benefits so much from City keeping the ball, that you don't see his mistakes, because he is reckless sometimes. He is headless sometimes, and it just doesn't bother City because one, they've got so many goals in them. And two, they've got a decent defensive line in front of them. So for me, I think Ederson is a name that's up there.
You could argue that Alisson was the same though last season, because last season when Van Dijk was injured and they were a lot more open at the back, he came up with some absolute falters.
But can I just interrupt on that point? Because he's a Liverpool player. No, it's not just that. He had I think it was like a couple of games where he was a bit off. but it was just after like his dad had bloody drowned and he died, and he couldn't go to the funeral because of COVID. So I think he deserves a bit of like dispensation for that. But what we've seen this season, and we are going off this season, aren't we, is Alisson back to his best. Absolutely, arguably, for me, certainly, biased even out of the question, the best goalie in the world. He's got, okay, his distribution's a bit under Edson, I think, not that far though. And he's an absolutely elite shot stopper. But half time it doesn't look like it as good as it is because his positioning's that good that like he doesn't need to do these dives or these mad saves. He's just there already and just goes bink and just gets it. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, no. To be fair, I've given Alisson a lot of criticism. I know my boy's watching this. He's a diehard Liverpool fan, and me and him have gone back and forth. So I'm gonna make sure I say this because if he does watch it, he's gonna go, "Well, you've been saying Alisson." So look, I've given Alisson a lot of criticism. I'm not gonna lie, but he has proved me wrong. You know, in the big moments, the guy stepped up time and time again. Obviously,
I've seen
last season and then this season as well. I can't remember who did you guys play recently. Like it was an Arsenal game, yeah. Against Arsenal, I think Alisson was arguably man of the match in that game. Like his saves were very crucial in the moments in which they happened, and you know he got you the 3 points. Really, obviously, it's not only yet mentioned because he was so good second half. But I thought Alisson, when big moments, man, that's the difference between him, Ramsdale, Lloris, like you know them shit keepers. Like you know, in big moments, Alisson actually saves the ball, which is why you're in net, not for passing. Otherwise, you'd be a midfielder. But we'll get to that very shortly. So. We've got Edison, we've got Ramsdale, Kojo. Obviously, you represent West Ham because so who are you going for? And big up to Nippon, brother, in the chat. Shout out to you, my guy. God bless.
All right, for me, step forward, Emi Martinez.
Ooh, okay.
Yeah, Emi Martinez, aka Buenos Aires Ben Foster. Now,
Buenos Aires Ben Foster, man.
Now,
oh my God!
Now here we are. This one, yeah. He had a good, what was it? Last 3 months of the season for Arsenal. Went to Aston Villa, had a good, I'd say 6 months, and then Villa started dropping points. Was he at form most of the time? Not really. But ever since then, he's not reached the levels that he was supposed to be setting and making. Or showing why Arsenal should miss him. You know what I'm saying? Because Ramsdale's coming, and quite frankly, Ramsdale's had a better long-term tenure over the time they've been there than Martinez. The guy's sort of football heritage is being the sideman at Arsenal for 10 years. And now he gets a run at Aston Villa, who are, by the way, are dropping lots of points. We're not watching his goalkeeping because we're focusing on Tyrone Mings, which is okay, because Tyrone Mings is also very, very poor. But
we'll get
away with it.
That's common.
Yep, certain men are getting away with it. Oh, trust me, he's number one on my list. Certain men are getting away with it. Oh, I like number 2. There's a certain slabhead. But yeah, you know, yeah, he's just not that good, quite frankly. And that's why I called him Buenos Aires Ben Foster. Because I remember when Buenos Aires Ben Foster was playing for Man United, and he had a good 2 months at Man United. They were like, yeah, you know, this next England goalkeeper. And they faced Man City, and he made Craig Bellamy look phenomenal, essentially.
To be fair, if I remember that finish was phenomenal.
Oh no, I'm not talking about the long range one. I'm talking about the long range one. I'm talking about the one when he literally walked past him and then he put in the corner from like.
Just to go off your point about Emi Martinez, he also has more trophies than Spurs in the past 16 years. But anyway, continue, Kojo.
And that's the end of the show.
See ya. Bye.
Oh, no, I can't. I'm loving this album tonight. I'm just. Beautiful. I was about to say, Martinez, he's got his trophy, but yeah, Declan, you've heard everyone. Obviously, I've not gone either, but Declan, what do you reckon? So we've got 3 different names at the moment, so obviously, if you go for one of them, they're likely to get picked. But what are your thoughts?
I disagree with everyone.
Ooh, I know
not like in an offensive way or like a disrespectful way, but I just have another name who I think is a bit more overrated than the others, maybe, and it's David De Gea. Now,
I knew it.
I knew it.
I've seen people put him still to this day as like the best keeper in the Premier League and all this. And I'm looking at it thinking, are they just trying to get a bite? Is it just banter, or are they being serious? Like, he's just not the best goalie in the Premier League.
I think, Coach, do you want to rebut? I mean, To be honest, it's gotten to a point now. Yeah, I don't even want to defend any of the Man United players. I'm not gonna lie. If you pick it, I'm just sick to death with all of them, Declan. I'm not gonna lie. No, if you said that a month ago, I probably would have defended him, but I don't even have the energy for it. So, but I can't even rebuttal it. I don't know if Kojo wants to add anything today. Yeah.
I mean, no, he used to be the best goalkeeper in the Premier League. Obviously, Alisson's overtaken that spot now. That's the truth. If you are listening to the Man United fans that go and scream that, I'll also show you the other half of Man United fans that are screaming for a certain Dean Henderson.
Yeah, that's why I don't think he's overrated.
Dean Henderson would have been a shout. Dean Henderson would have been a shout because he's not good at anything, but apparently he's good with his feet. He's not good with that. Yeah. No, I hear what you're saying though. It's hard to argue a point. At the end of the day, he's not better than Alisson. If you're saying if they're calling him the best, he's not better than Alisson. So I hear what you're saying.
Yeah, I mean, the only reason I probably wouldn't say overrated is because generally 50% of my fan base don't like the hair at all. Like, generally hate him. So it is what it is. But that's the same with everyone in our team because our fan base is toxic. But anyways, my vote, it seems like I've got the deciding vote because I have picked someone that somebody else has picked.
It's Ramsdale.
It's not De Gea, Declan, sorry. It's not. You know what? I quite like the Edison shout. You've almost convinced me, to be fair. But I'm chatting shit. It has to be the one and only, and the man with more relegations than trophies. Aaron Ramsdale.
I knew it.
Listen. I'm just gonna caveat it very quickly before I get into it. I do think he's had a good season. And I think he's actually potentially going to be a good goalkeeper. But obviously the title of the video is overhyped. And when you talk about overhyped, if you've not got an Arsenal player in a year, then you don't know football Twitter. These men are coming like he's either the best in the league, on form, as they always say, or he's at prime Neuer rebirth. Like, honest to God, like, he doesn't make saves. Like, he makes saves that you expect him to make, but they look like how I used to look when I used to play in the park, and I'd be like, go on then, I'll make one for the flipping camera and that. Like, he just makes everything look half decent. And look, I like him. His distribution is probably better than Scott McTominay's and Fred, which isn't hard, but it definitely is. So if he can play DM, I'd take him, but he can't. So as a goalkeeper, I think he's a decent keeper, and I think he's doing all right. But the way you lot overhype him, like he's as good as Alisson and Edison and all these other keepers in the league, for me, it's going to be Ramsdale. So it looks like Ramsdale's in the team, Caleb. So I'm
Millwall Park, Martin Dubravka.
I'm not even sorry about it. I'm not gonna lie.
I know you're not sorry. I know. To be honest, like, once you mentioned this or suggested this as a topic, I knew Arsenal were in for the brunt of it. So it is what it is, man. It's not like you can.
I've got players in here as well. Don't worry.
Have you? But how can you? How do you rate your players this season?
I don't worry. I've got. Don't worry. You'll see it. You'll understand.
All right.
Anyways, let's move on to right back. Wow. For me personally, there was only one name. He plays in the red. Not joking. Right. No, Kale, we'll start with you this time. We'll go through. We need to speed you up, actually. We've been 20 minutes and we wouldn't do one position. Right, okay, so Kale. Right, let's try and be a bit quicker. So, Kale, who are you going for at right back?
I'm going for Kyle Walker. I feel like there's a lot of people this season that tend to like what he does on the pitch, and I just don't. I honestly don't. He's fast, but to be honest, do recovery runs make a good defender? No, it just means that you're out of position, but you have the speed to get back into position. I just don't think he's that great of a defender, and he often compromises City's defensive line because they play a very high line as well. But he's obviously the one that gets back on time, but he doesn't offer anything going forward. I don't think, just another body, but nobody really gives it to him because they have so much in their midfield. I just don't rate him that highly, and that's my overrated pick for this season, Kyle Walker.
I know, Frank. Kojo, will come to you just to speed you up. Obviously, if there's something that someone doesn't agree with, that they want to speak on it, then obviously go for it. But Kojo, who have you gone for?
Aaron Wan-Bissaka.
I knew you come for Bob.
The so-called best one-on-one defender in the Premier League. That is an absolute lie. He is a Trinidad and Tobago Tony. What's that right back?
Yes.
Tony Hibbert. There we go. Thank you. Right.
He's you got names for every single one of these players, by the way.
Oh, we're here today, bro. We're here today. No, on a real. Look, I just think he has been overstated. I think he's been overrated a bit too much, a bit overhyped. He's not the best one-on-one defender because all he does, I mean, he's good at slide tackling, but that even in itself is one of those things where he's a bit excited to. If he was a better defender, he wouldn't have to go on the ground so much. His positioning would be better. And just like his friend on the other side, we wouldn't be conceding so many goals if they were on their job a lot more. So, yeah, Wan-Bissaka for me.
Let's Declan, who are you going for?
Well, wrote down in my notes I had Walker, which Cahil's obviously already said. We don't need to explain that one. But I had it with a forward slash and then another man, a man who plays for Leicester, and that is Ricardo Pereira.
Yeah.
Obviously, he's very hyped first and that. But like I've since had people say to me like he's better than Trent and stuff and throwing stats at me which doesn't just like I'm like, so what? I don't care.
Kojo raise Booker T.
You'd be surprised, Jerry. You'd be very surprised, my friend.
Yeah. I mean, to be fair, AWB greater than Trent used to be a debate, didn't it, as well? I think Sky Sports put it up one time. They were like, who's better? And there was a picture of the two of them. And it's like, that looks terrible now, looking back in hindsight. But, you know, it's all right. But I don't know. Walker or Pereira for me anyway.
Okay, so if it's a tie, we'll put your vote to Walker just so he's in the team.
Yeah.
Okay. All right, fair. Right, so I've actually gone for another Man United full back, but it's not Wan-Bissaka.
It's Dallo.
Yeah. So the only reason I didn't go for Wan-Bissaka is because I don't think anyone raised him in Man United
Not this season now.
The reason, look, I like Dalot, but I think he is massively overrated as well because he's got a step over in him. So similar to what Kish said about Ramsdale, the ball was so low at Man United for a right back. Anyone that could actually do anything going forward, massively overrated, overhyped. Dalot defensively got done by Danjuma. I mean, like, belly on, like, what? I don't even know what the hell he is. Like, absolutely shocking. But yeah, defensively, he's not brilliant. Going forward, he's not really shown me enough. I mean, he's still not put a cross on Ronaldo's head yet, which is baffling because Ronaldo's got one of the best leaps in world football. So, yeah, for me, I'm going to go Diego Dalot. I mean, he's just not good enough. Is he really just a bog standard right back that is just better Wan-Bissaka, which doesn't say much because he tackled himself off the game. So, yeah, so I've gone Diego Dalot. Kish, so obviously you potentially got a deciding vote, so obviously you can... Or just say what you've got, actually.
Yeah, mine's completely different as well. I've got Emerson Royale. He's been an absolute embarrassment. I mean, I'd rather have Titus Bramble at right wing back, to be honest, putting the ball in the box. I have more success ratings with him whipping it in than. I mean, I'm telling you, Uncle Bramble would probably be miles better. But yeah, I mean, look, we signed him for 26 million. Barcelona even said that they started laughing when we put in the bid because they couldn't believe it. He's Brazilian, and he's got names like Dani Alves, Douglas Luiz, Sandro, all these Donnies in the back. And I was thinking, do you know what? He's come from Barcelona, come from the youth system, Brazilian. He's got all of this hype about him. Everyone in Spain was like, he's got potential, blah, 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 blah. And Jesus, it's now got to the stage where when he comes on for 5 minutes, he puts compilation videos on his own Twitter account about little one touches that he does, and I'm like, what? You've come on for 5 minutes and you've got a 2-minute compilation video about yourself? You taking the piss? So yeah, that's for me. It's Emerson.
Can I ask a question? Can I ask a question to Kish? It's not a real one. So I mean, because you're talking about how he was apparently doing well with Betis and Barcelona, and people were hitting him up and that. So if he's come Tottenham and he's thinking like the Drake, is it just a case that he might have caught Spurs syndrome, or are we?
Well, I mean, the fact that Barcelona started laughing at the transfer fee must mean that even Barcelona, like, Jesus, how have we got this kind of money from Tottenham? And the worst thing about that 26 million is probably a bank loan that Daniel Levy's taken for a Brazilian waste man.
I mean, the cinema was quite expensive, to be fair to Levy, so you have to...
Say this.
And do you know the worst thing is we let go of Kyle Walker-Peters, who's got the England cap at the moment.
Don't worry, yeah. Keith, stop stressing. Your other fullback, Kyle Walker, made the team, so don't worry.
Yeah, sweet.
That Spurs gene runs deep. Okay, I don't know why we spent 3 minutes on Emerson Royal. As Jerry said very profoundly, who the fuck rates him? Like, nobody rates him. None of us even know who he is. I don't even think we've seen his... Like, if I saw the guy on the street, I wouldn't know what he looks like. Like, generally, like, I don't care about the guy. Like,
you actually might be up to a point there.
Like, I don't think... But I think I've just led to that point.
No.
Fantastic time for me to crash.
Is he gone again?
I think he's gone again.
He has gone again. And he at least professed it before.
Let's run centre back.
Yeah, let's go centre back.
Yeah. So wait there. Who is the right back then?
Kyle
Walker, isn't it? Yeah, Walker. Yeah.
All right, what is going on here? It's absolutely shocking. But anyways, let's move on to the centre backs. That was a lot quicker, so that was good. So we get to actually discuss it a bit. So we've currently got Ramsdale and Walker, so that English core looking very strong. So you know what? Who's the next one? It's Kojo, isn't it? Kojo, give us yours. Let us know down below. Did you hear about Roman? We are not going to talk about that right now. Kojo, let a brother know who your centre back. Why am I even asking? But yeah, just let us know you.
We are keeping it very British right now. Okay, all right. Now I'm just gonna say a quote, and Declan, you might have not heard this. We had a friend Hussam who we all did a show with on here.
Oh, yeah.
And as I will quote him, he said, "If he didn't have a left foot, he would be a bouncer." Step forward, Tyrone Mings. That guy sucks. And that's my 2 pence on that.
Oh, shit.
Fair play.
Oh my god! Honestly, I can't even. I don't think anyone's going to disagree with that. He's absolutely shy, but he's got a decent trim. To be fair to him, Declan, what do you reckon? Who are you going for?
Yeah, I'd stick with Mings, like Kojo said. But I'm going to throw in a name that maybe this might be controversial, but I think Laporte is massively overrated.
I like that.
I agree with that.
I just don't rate him that much. I just watch him, and then I watch like Stones, and I'm like, Stones is probably better. Which is, I think Diaz is the glue for them anyway. Oh well, someone in the comments has come through. My opinion, I'll take that.
See on my G, Diaz and Laporte very over a partnership in my opinion.
I think Diaz is what he is. He's great, but I think Laporte's just a bit over it.
I mean, he's straight to the point. Mings stinks, to be honest. He gives a full paragraph with Diaz and Laporte. Yeah, but Mings, he just stinks. To be fair, that's a good shout, Laporte, because I genuinely think Man City's defense is the most overrated defense in the league without a shadow of a doubt. I have got a Man City defender in there. I don't know if it's worth me mentioning him now. I might as well actually, just as we're on the topic. I've gone for Stones. So English core once again. To be fair to Stones, I thought he had a good season last season, so fair play to him. And I don't think this season has been too bad as well. But it just comes back to the general overhyping English players. Like, people genuinely think he's like Sergio Ramos. Like, he's not that good. Like, he's a decent centre back, but he's again similar to any of the City centre backs. A lot of them easily exploited with the ball over the top. But just in general, like, I feel like if you put pressure under the City defence, they seem to really struggle defensively. So it could have been any of the three really in City for me personally, but I've gone for John Stones because I want that English core really at the back. So for me, I've gone for Stones. Kish, what's your vote on?
Yeah, it's the obvious. It's Harry Maguire. He was in the team 11 at the Euros. Everyone overhyped him, said he's one of the best centre halves in world football. And then welcome to Manchester United Part 2. It's been a comedy show all season. At the beginning of the season, I saw quite a few Man United fans defending him, saying, look, he's obviously got issues going on, this, that, and the other. No, fuck off. He's just a terrible, terrible footballer. And he only works in a 3. And you know who's good in a back 3? Defenders that are absolutely shite. So for me, yeah, it's Slabhead.
No, you play with a back 3.
Yeah, exactly. That's why Eric Dyer looks good, because he's in a back 3.
Oh, okay. Just double checking.
Yeah.
Harry, I don't think you're gonna get many arguments with Harry Maguire, believe it or not. All right, Kale, it looks like you've got the deciding vote this time. I think we've gone for we've got everyone different, haven't we? Yeah, we have.
Everyone's been different, yeah.
Okay,
I
so
like
into
my vote, but I'm gonna go for someone else. I'm gonna go for a Spurs defender. I'm going to go for somebody who works best in a back 3, Christian Romero. I honestly think that if you partner him next to Eric Dyer and was it Davinson Sanchez? And if you kick the ball in a straight line, you probably look better than both of them. So that's has he been that good? He laughs in the face of who is it? Harry Maguire on the weekend, and he gets absolutely smashed.
Yeah, that was nice.
by a 37-year-old Cristiano Ronaldo who looked like he was peak CR7, who's been, by all Manchester United fans' accounts, terrible all season. Can't run, can't pass, can't play, but he boy, makes him look like a candy floss, man. He was so easy.
Candy floss.
Easy. And they big him up like he's the Messiah, he's the savior of the Spurs defense. But honestly, Spurs defense has been leaky. They've been leaky under what's that guy's name? The first of the season, Nuno Espirito Santo, and they've been leaky under Conte, but it's Conte, so nobody wants to speak about that. But it is what it is, man. Going forward, I don't fear Spurs' defense, but it's looking good for the Premier League in the next few seasons. If Christian Romero is
so you've gone Romero. So obviously we've all gone for different. Before we actually vote, Kish, I feel like you have something to say. Like, do you agree?
To be honest, I really don't understand, because there's one defender that I'm going to mention next for Arsenal, which we all know what's going to happen.
No.
I'm not going to mention it. But Christian Romero, listen, it's his first season in the Premier League. He's also had injuries this season, but when he's come in, he's been solid. I know I don't expect you to watch every Tottenham game, but the games that I've seen him in, he has done his job, and that's all you can do in a back three. You have your part, your position, and if you contain your opposition attack, then for me, you've done your job as a centre half. A majority of the time, he has. The Man City game in particular, he was literally rock solid that entire game. Yes, he has had the odd game where, you know, he has been at fault, in particular the Weghorst goal that Burnley scored. But apart from that, I can't really fault him. Yes, it's a 36-year-old Ronaldo, but he's one of the greatest of all time. The goals that were conceded, none of them goals were actually his fault for any of them. It's 37, but none of them goals are his fault.
It's not about one game against United. I don't think Cahil's put him in off the back of one performance. Like.
Well, he has though, because he's just said he's 37 years old, so he's obviously.
No, I'm just mentioning a glaring example.
Kish, you might let me get in the team, but you do seem rattled, so I might just vote him. To be fair.
Look, man, if you partner Dia, if you partner Davinson Sanchez, you're gonna look amazing. So.
Okay, so the way it's gonna work, obviously, we've all picked a different player, which is quite funny. So what we'll do. I'll drop mine because obviously I've said Stones, so I'm not really that mad about it. It is what it is. I'm not mad about it. So obviously, Kojo, you said Mings, right? So you said Mings. Obviously, Declan. Who did you say again? Sorry.
Laporte. I said Mings and Laporte. I thought we was doing two, so you can.
Right. Okay. So we put Mings in there.
You can have Mings.
I think everyone's happy with Mings. Anyway, I don't think anyone really. Okay, that's fine. We put Mings in. My vote was gonna go to Mings anyways. Right. Okay. So your other one would be Laporte. Okay, so that's fine. Right. Okay. Yeah. So obviously Declan's given his other. So I'll give my second one. No surprise, English player once again. Ben White.
I knew it.
No. Banter aside, he's the most overrated player I've ever seen in the Premier League. Like he's definitely up there. Like I've seen some
man.
Wild shout from Arsenal fans, right? Ben White is better than Varane. The people are still saying it, and I know people will say, "Well, what has Varane done?" Bro, listen, anyone who plays with Maguire knows how hard it is. Fucking Maguire is useless. Like, I don't want to get into that. But for me, Ben White, massively overrated. The guy's been bullied. Even Lukaku bullied him. And we're talking about this season. So, like, Ronaldo's bullied him. The guy's, anyone decent, he's been rinsed. I know he got that one man in the match.
Jota absolutely bullied him, by the way.
What's that, sorry?
Jota. Like,
yeah, he's Jota's bitch. Literally.
Have you seen the meme? It's like Jota and it's like Ben White in it, one of the other Arsenal fellas on a lead.
Jota's absolutely rinsed him time and time again. He's got 4 goals against Arsenal in 2 games. Something like that. Stupid like that. I know he got one man of the match against Liverpool, which was in the Carabao Cup game, I think, which he lost anyway, so I don't remember. But either way, for me, Ben White, I don't need to go into it. It's just my opinion. Kish, we'll come back to you. What do you reckon? So we've got Laporte, Ben White. Kish, let's try to speed you up a bit because we are.
Yeah, Ben White. Shahid's comment is actually perfect. He's just like Ryan Shawcross. Ryan Shawcross back in the day reminds me exactly of Ben White. Need I say any more? 50 million British pounds of the Queen for me. He is.
Iron Shawcross.
And do you know the thing is about that as well is I actually think Gabriel, who plays alongside him at centre half, has covered him on many occasions, because I actually do rate Gabriel at centre half. I think he's a good solid defender, and I do think a lot of the time White has been saved.
Except for the times when Gabriel wasn't there and Ben White didn't really put a foot wrong. I understand it. I understand.
Yeah, against flipping Nottingham Forest under 23s. Fair play.
Yeah. There's been other games, but the simple fact of the matter is, I understand where you're coming from with the £50 million mark. That obviously didn't help his case. He's not a £50 million defender. But to be honest, I don't think he's done anything wrong this season. Yes, he gets rinsed by some top quality players, but loads of people, but that's the point. They're top quality players. So if you're only getting rinsed by them, it doesn't really make a difference. Who did you get mugged off by? You said Jota. He's been in fantastic form. Who else have you said?
Ronaldo, Lukaku.
That was at the very beginning of the season when Arsenal's defense was shambolic, when we playing Pablo Mari and Rob Holding next to him. Like you said, once Gabriel's come next to him, he's starting to look decent. Has Gabriel covered for him? No, I honestly think Ben White's been on par with Gabriel this season. I don't think he's been that bad. He has been on par with Gabriel. I don't think.
What about Big Lewis Graben at Nottingham Forest?
Didn't Ben White get tamed by Sissoko the other day? Like literally 2 weeks ago. Like literally.
Yeah. What about Big Lewis Graben for Nottingham Forest? What happened there?
Right, Kale, who's your vote? Which player you putting forward?
I said Christian Romero, innit? I said Tyrone Mings and Christian Romero.
Oh, right. So Tyrone Mings was a clean sweep then. Right, Kojo's obviously Maguire, isn't it? Is you going Maguire?
Oh yeah, Muggle Michael Dawson. Get him out of here, man.
Okay. Right. Okay. So it looks like Ben White's won because he's got 2 votes. Me and Kish. Definitely no agenda there. Okay, let's move on to left back. To be honest, fullbacks for me was a bit of a struggle. I only went to one club in London. Let's start with you this time. Who's your left back? Who have you picked?
I feel like maybe a couple of years by the sounds of your hints have got the same guy. And he's been linked with Real Madrid today. And it absolutely baffled me. It's Kieran Tierney. Sorry, Kyle.
Yes, Declan!
But my man's getting comparisons with Andy Robertson, and I'm convinced it's just because they're both Scottish, because Robertson's on another level. Tierney, he could get there, but he's not there yet. He's just not.
Has he been on another level since what? The season you won the league title? He's not been great.
Lad, he's still up there for the assists and that.
You're honestly going to sit there and tell me that Andy Robertson has been great for the past 3 seasons. He's not been. Just because he shouts,
I'm not saying it was last season.
Gets angry at other defenders and other players. Just because he rubs Messi's hair doesn't mean he's a good
Come on. He's the best left back in the world the year we won the Champions League. Again, the year we won the league.
Yeah, but like I said, how many years ago was that? Like 3 years ago.
That year was Davies from Bayern, and I still think he was a little bit overrated. Because Bayern won the set to or whatever. But and I think Robertson was rubbish last season. I'll give you that. Shaw was better than him. Maybe other players were better than him, whatever. But he's been back this season.
Kieran Tierney was better than him.
Maybe he was last season, but that was 1 season out of 4. Doesn't make you better than a player.
2 seasons.
Come on, he hasn't been better this season. Come on. Let's not. In the words of Roy Hodgson, let's not take the piss here.
Oh shit! Honestly, right, Cody. Let's go to you. Let's try to speed up a bit. What we saying?
Luke Shaw.
Yeah, no surprise.
Yeah, because I don't rate the bad B. Roberto Carlos. That's what I gotta say about that. Roberto Carlos. Man was out there playing like Ben Thatcher. He called him Roberto Carlos. Get him out of here, man. And Osman's paused again.
He's frozen, yeah. Boom. Right, is he back? It was
you're left back. Yeah.
Hey, what time's the Queen apparently has on Twitter?
Osman, when you pause, I'll continue. Don't worry.
Yeah. You do your thing. You're the host now when this stream was shafting me. So you said Luke Shaw, obviously, innit? What was your reason? Sorry, because he's far. What was it?
Actually, I think it was.
I called him a bad B. That doesn't mean he's fat. It means he's thick.
Oh,
Anyway.
right. You don't like the thick. You don't like the thick. Oh, okay.
Oh no, it's good, but just not on him. Anyway, Cahil.
Okay, fair enough. I understand you don't like thick on your players. Okay, that makes sense. Obviously, I know the scenarios that you do. Okay, right. Fair enough. I mean, I can't dispute that. Kill, let you come next. I feel like your player's under attack slightly. I don't really give a shit about my United players. Attack them all you want. Kill, what do you reckon?
I'm gonna go for another Spurs defender. I don't know where he plays. Right wing back, left wing back, but it is what it is, man. It's Reguilon. Just because he whips in a nice few pretty balls here and there, he's meant to be some decent player. It's all right. He's all right, man. Just allow it. He came from Real Madrid. He's had a decent run in a poor Spurs side, and that's the simple cut and the drive. It just because he's better than your other defenders does not make him good. Simple as.
Right, okay. I mean, I think it's only right. Kish responds after. Just quickly, Nippon, regarding your questions, my guy, if you've got time at the end, I'll answer them. I do apologize, bro, but as you can imagine, we're only on the left back and it's already 40 minutes, for fuck's sake. Right, so Kish, who's yours?
Yeah, same as Kojo. It's Roberto Carlos. He's had half a good season in 5 years, and then he moaned the other day about feeling loved at England and not at Manchester United. And then apparently he's been offered a new contract. So it's more of a shambles with the comedy show, but it's ridiculous. I think he'd probably be better off at a KFC ad. Booker T could probably do a better job at left back, but that's as much I'm going to say on it.
Yeah, I mean, I'm kind of Tony because I was going to go for Tyranny as well, but that would tie the vote. But I just can't be asked with my United player, so I'm going to say sure. So I'm going to say sure. And plus,
to be honest, how fuming were you with his comments the other day when he was at England?
Oh my god! Listen, I was just chatting shit. But the reason I've also gone for sure is it does mean we've completed a full back five of English players, which is going to go down well on Twitter.
Oh my god! Wow, that's going to go down well, isn't it?
Yeah. So obviously, if I put Tyranny there, he's Scottish. We don't want to upset the Scottish. Obviously, we love the Scottish. So right, okay. Anyways, we've gone for English back five. Obviously, keep getting your thoughts in. Obviously, if it's related to what we're discussing. Obviously, if it's Bashing Robertson. I mean, I'm all for it, but at the same time, it's not really relevant currently. Right, let's move on to the midfield. I'm going to start us off, right? With the most over... I don't think anyone can beat this player that I'm going to say. I think he's that overrated. And it has to be none other than Jorginho. Without a shadow of a doubt. Yeah. Last year,
hating.
Not even last season, last year. At the end of the season, when it's coming to December time, blah, 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 he has to get the Ballon d'Or. He ends up third, and there was absolute uproar in the Chelsea fan base that this guy did not win the Ballon d'Or over, like, I don't even remember who won it, to be fair. Who was it? Who ended up winning it? Yeah, was it
Messi?
Or was it Messi again? Right, but the fact that there was absolute uproar that he wasn't above Lewandowski or Messi to win the Ballon d'Or, why has he finished third? One of the shittest players I've seen in a long time in terms of the hype. Compared to the hype, he's shit compared to the hype. He's nowhere near. These mans are acting like he's prime bloody Iniesta. Like, generally, they think he's the Italian version of Iniesta or Modric or Cruz or whatever. Bang average player. Yes, he's good at passing the ball sideways and backwards. Fair play to him. He's got a good penalty. But when it mattered, you're the reason Italy are not in the World Cup. Well done, mate. Appreciate that. Missed 2 penalties, when it mattered. So it is what it is. But yeah, for me, Jorginho, mate, I respect it because you're a haggler, but what the fuck was he doing in number 3? So yeah, Jorginho for me, without a shadow of a doubt. Obviously, it's a midfield 3, so if we get 2 of the other names, we'll just chuck them in to save a bit of time. Kish, what are you going for?
Yeah, to be fair, everything what you said about Jorginho is right. I think he's the perfect example of social media getting in the way of exaggerating people's opinions. It's all about current form rather than in the past, and it's all about compilation videos that people get deceived by. And I just genuinely think he's a good midfielder that does his job in terms of passing range and keeping it tight. But apart from that, I genuinely don't see what he does to make him stand anywhere near the world's best players on the planet. I don't get it. I really don't get it.
Bro, he was above Modric.
I don't get it. Yeah, it doesn't make sense.
All right, so we've got 2 Jorginhos, so that kind of automatically puts him in anyways. But we're currently going, Kale, what do you reckon? Who are you going for?
Yeah, no, this Jorginho's there, 100%.
Okay, so Jorginho's in automatically. Right, okay, Kale, give me another name then. All right, Jorginho's in because we got.
I'm gonna go Bernardo Silva.
What?
Yeah.
What?
Yeah, I agree.
100%. He is absolutely falling off a cliff this season. From the beginning, he was fantastic. He was all over the place. It was Bernardo is back. This is the guy we got.
He was getting shouted better than Salah as well.
There's that, and then what was he done in recent weeks? He seems like it's Gundogan all over again. The peak Yaya, he's doing Yaya Toure things. That's what Kish would like to say.
Kish here, who sat next to me, said Gundogan's like Yaya Toure. No, last season when he was scoring those goals.
What?
But no, man, he had a fantastic start to the season.
Didn't Yaya Toure score like 20 goals or something like that? Remember?
Yeah, it was that period when he scored like 3 goals in a row, like Gundogan last season. And Kish got to his head.
He got like 14 in the league, to be fair.
Oh yeah.
And I swear they were all tap-ins.
You
I
can't.
swear they were all tap-ins as well.
In fact, Kale, you're not finished, are you? Kale, carry on. Sorry, my bad.
No, I just repeating what I'm going to say. I don't think you can excuse the way he's fallen off the second half of the season, man. He's not been great.
Declan, will come to you because it seemed that you're agreeing with that.
I agree with I give Kale's Bernardo shout. I want to put a different name in there, and it's Ruben Neves as well.
What?
As Jorginho and Bernardo. Now I'll justify this. He's been linked with Arsenal, with Liverpool, with the likes of Chelsea. I don't think he improves any of them. He's just, I think Wolves is maybe his level.
I mean, no, I know Kojo will know this as well, but a lot of Man United fans want Ruben Neves desperately. Like, they're proper dying for us to sign him. And I think he's a good player, but I genuinely agree with what you've just said, that I think Wolves is a good level for him. Maybe he can go to a slightly better team, still a shit team like Tottenham, but I think it's not Man United level. I just don't think he can make the next step, but I'm
glad you went to another team in North London, by the way. I was expecting a certain answer, but I'm glad you changed your tune this time.
Don't worry, Kale, man. It's not all about Arsenal. God, you Arsenal fans. Don't worry, I'll get you a bit later on. But okay, so we got Ruben Neves, Bernardo Silva's got 2 votes. Okay, so I'll bear that, man. Kojo, we'll come to you. Obviously, keep getting your thoughts in the chat. Obviously, if there's anyone, what a surprise, a Liverpool fan doesn't agree with, doesn't rate Bernardo Silva. I mean, Kale spots Arsenal, so he said it first. To be fair,
he's not better than Salah.
I remember those.
Putting him up with the best player in the world. Putting him up with arguably the best player in the world this season makes him overrated because he hasn't been the best player in the world.
I personally think he's better than any of your midfielders at Liverpool, to be honest. But that's just my.
Whoa! Come on, man. I mean, I suppose there's different roles, but for me, Fabinho was either 1 or 2 in terms of the DMs.
He's not better than Thiago. I'm sorry,
exactly. He's not better than Thiago.
I'd say bar Thiago, he's better.
He's not better than Fabinho.
He's not better than Fabinho either.
Exactly.
No, but I say position. No, but it's based on positional players.
On position,
I would rather have.
Yeah.
So but in that Liverpool setup, you have Henderson, you have Fabinho, and then you have Thiago. I would have Bernardo Silva 125% ahead of Henderson every day of the week.
Yeah, but then you're going into roles, and the role that Henderson plays.
Yeah, exactly. It's not necessarily overrated like that in terms of that. But as I said, my justification was like he was getting put up with salary, whereas being top 3, if not the best, top 3 players in the world over the whole season. No, he sort of went down a bit since the AFCON and that, but that's because he's tired. He's exhausted after them 120s in AFCON. So, I just think that's my justification.
Although I hate to say it, but it's not. But anyways, Kojo, let's go to you. It does mean if you vote for Bernardo, hypothetically, he's definitely in the team. So, who are you going for? So we've got Bernardo, Ruben Neves, I believe. Myself and Kish need to throw another name out there as well.
I'll just drop 2 names just in case it can help compete with because I know Jorginho's there already. Neves, I do agree with. actually. I think because I'm not the biggest fan of Ruben Neves either. One name I want to put in there because apart from free kicks, I don't know what the hell else he does.
Lol.
What does Ward-Prowse do? Apart from taking free kicks, what the hell does this brother do? Someone tell me. I'm begging someone tell me a quality that he has apart from taking a shot with a ball that does not move.
Hey, Darren might fight you on that one, bro.
Thank you. My cousin just said when the ball moves, he's in trouble. And he's a football player.
Yeah, your cousin knows ball, man. Ward-Prowse. Okay, I think the Ward-Prowse shot is definitely interesting. Okay, you know what? I'm gonna give my. See, the other player I've got written down, Kojo, you're gonna really like it. That's the thing. Right, so you got Ward-Prowse. Who was the other one, Kojo? Ruben Neves.
Yes.
Okay, Ruben Neves. Okay, so he's got 2 votes as well then. Okay, so that means, Kish, I'll come to you, then I'll come to mine because mine's a different name. So if you got Ruben Neves or Bernardo in your 3? I didn't think you would have. Right, Kish, give us another name then.
I'm going to say the 2. I've got Ndidi and Rice.
Rice!
I knew you'd say Rice.
Okay, forget Ndidi. I want to hear the Rice.
What?
Why is Rice?
Look, again, this is why I actually really wanted Lawless on this. But unfortunately, he can never make it. He can never make it once Spurs give his team an absolute battering.
Don't worry, I'll clip it and send it to him.
But look, the way I see it is, I understand the comments about, the 150 million tag is not him saying it. It's the club not wanting to sell their asset or whatever. Fair enough. But for people to opinionize him as being the so-called best midfielder in the Premier League, and he himself is saying that he is now an elite midfielder. He is on that world-class level. He himself has said that, by the way. He said it the other week in an interview. That, for me, is an absolute embarrassment. You're a good player that's striving to get up there to the very top level. But for you to then already say that after half a season in the Europa League, you're now classing yourself as an elite world-class midfielder, for me, is just ridiculous. It's stupid. These aren't the sort of statements that you say yourself. It's statements that you let other people say, not something that you say about yourself in terms of technicality. Yes, he's good at areas. He has good technical ability. He has good dribbling ability. He has a good eye of a pass. But is any of them at levels which defines 100 to 150 million pound midfielder? Not in a single breath. Who's the midfielder for Rodri? What Rodri does for Manchester City is, for me, levels above what Rice can do at this moment in time. But what I'm saying with Rice is a lot of it, again, is British hype. And what people say is this is going to be a future England captain and someone that's going to hold the centre midfield down for the next 10 years. And for me personally, I need to see how he reacts at a bigger club. That's just my personal opinion before I can rate him to be amongst elite, because it's all good and well playing for your boyhood club or someone that you've been since a youth at West Ham. But if you go to someone like Manchester United, Manchester City, Chelsea, which is going to be, I'm going to talk about another player later on that I'm going to pick. It's a completely different kettle of fish.
Yes.
To be fair though, he walks into Tottenham's midfield, so.
No, he does, and I'm not saying he doesn't. But what I'm saying is for the very, very elite clubs. That's what I'm saying.
That's a great shout, by the way. That's a great shout.
Sorry. What are the very, very elite clubs you're talking about? That's what I want to get context on.
I'm talking to the likes of Liverpool, Chelsea, Man City. They're the clubs.
He walks into Liverpool. He walks into Liverpool over Henderson.
He doesn't get into Liverpool.
No, but what I'm saying is it's a whole different ball game in terms of the pressure and everything.
Okay. No, you're saying that, and I hear that, but it's like, okay, firstly, the 150 million pound thing. The reason they're rating him like that is because if West Ham sell him, they know for a fact they're not trusted, whether it's board wise, whether it's manager wise, to replace him adequately enough because of the role he plays for West Ham. He's super important. Like, he's not just important; he's ultra important. Once they lose him, Souček loses his powers. Mark Noble loses his son. Like, like he is ultra important. So I get what you're saying. If they're just saying he's worth 150 based on ability alone, no, he's not. There's very few people on this planet that have even been paid that clubs have paid that kind of money for, and they've succeeded. But he's damn good. I think you're underplaying just how good he is. I'm not saying he's world class. Didn't say that. But I said he's damn good, and he's still one. Is that what Cahill said about Ramsdale? Yes, people are representing Ramsdale, but Ramsdale's only 23. How old is Declan Rice? And if he's performing like this now, if he is to get to a bigger club and get better, and he's getting better at West Ham with David Moyes, by the way, and Kevin Nolan as assistant.
No,
if he
but
gets
I
a
think
better
you're
manager,
disregarding David
Hey,
Moyes.
Fellaini looked good under Moyes.
No,
as
This
well.
was,
not
this was a
disregarding
West
David
Ham
Moyes.
team that nearly got relegated before he came.
No,
to
again, I'm not disregarding David Moyes. What I'm saying is he's got a manager like David Moyes, good manager, but not the elite. His assistant manager is Kevin
He's not an
Nolan.
elite coach in
So
him.
if he goes to a better manager and a better coach, and no, it's not Jack
But
Grealish.
again, Kojo, I'm not saying that he's not a good midfielder, because he is a good midfielder. But
You're
I'm
saying he's not a
that
very
an
good midfielder. That's what I'm
overrated
saying.
midfielder. I'm saying he's overrated based on what people value him as and what he himself admits himself what he thinks he is.
What would you
That's
value
why
him
I'm
at?
basing it on that argument.
What would you value him at?
Huh?
What would you value him at?
For me personally, between 50 to 60 million. That's where I would, in today's market, value him at.
Right.
No,
Okay,
not in
that's
today's
fine.
market.
Not in today's market.
In general valuation terms, then I would base him on-
realistically, I agree with you. But we don't
Okay,
do the real work.
let's
do we?
move on from Declan Rice because he's not even made the list, so I don't even know why we keep going on about. But I appreciate that you actually give a good reason, although no West Ham fans gonna like that when I click it later. Right? Okay.
Oh, by the way, just quickly, I did also say Ndidi, and the reason why I said Ndidi is
Oh, we don't care
defensively.
about that. He's not-
Defensively, they've been a
Forget it,
shambles,
forget it.
and I
He's
just
not
don't think
gonna get in.
Ndidi's done his job.
Right. Okay. So by complete default, regardless of my vote, so technically, if I voted Rice or Ward-Prowse, I would get in, but that would be boring. So I'm gonna put Bernardo and Ruben Neves in. So we'll just trigger the Portuguese. We've got the English.
Exactly,
background,
bro.
we've
All
got
the Portuguese people.
midfield.
Like, what the fuck?
I was gonna throw in Scott McTominay, Kojo. That's who my shout was because I've had enough of the
He's
bullshit.
rated
Great.
well.
No, he can't
McTominay,
be.
McTominay is not overrated. He should
McTominay
be
is
rated.
so overhyped in the United fan base. It's embarrassing. Like,
Oh,
the general
fair
thinks he's a
play,
good
fair
player.
play.
Like, it's mad.
He's
But
a
anyways,
pattern Pedro Mendes.
yeah. So I was gonna go McTominay and Ward-Prowse, but like I said, we've got Jorginho, Bernardo Silva, and Ruben Neves. Right, let's move on to right wing. I've got a feeling this one's gonna throw up a couple of interesting shouts. You know what, Kay, let's start with you first, because you're very level-headed, all that good stuff. Kale, who have you gone for right wing? Someone's put Smith Rowe's better than Rice, but they're just throwing that out there. And so does Mason Mount count as a midfielder. That's another good shout, to be fair. Mason Mount technically could have been in there. But yeah, Kale, who you going right wing? We've got Rashford straight in there.
I'm going Jared Bowen for another reason similar to Kish's. Is the West Ham fans, they big him up too much. He had a decent purple patch a couple of weeks ago, and it's like they've just rebirthed Joe Cole, man. He's good. He's a good player. He's good in this David Moyes system, and when they play in the counter, fantastic. When he's just running directly at players, he's good, but just good. He's not that much of an elite finisher. I wouldn't say he's got a great eye for a pass or a cross. But in this West Ham side, which are playing well right now, especially for a team like West Ham, it looks like he could go on to another team and improve there. But I don't think he can. I think he's playing well on David Moyes. David Moyes is working him out perfectly under his system. But once he leaves that system, I think you'll realize why he was at Hull instead of in the Premier League before West Ham.
Wow, I think that's an outrageous shout.
I agree with you, Usman. I think there's a reason why Liverpool scouts are apparently really liking him. The numbers look scalable as well. So I think that's a bit of a I'm not gonna say, I don't want to say a bad shout, but I think that's a bit harsh maybe on Bowen. I think he could be. And you said the point about Hull, like look at Robson, he got relegated with Hull, and then Liverpool bought him and look where he is now. Do you know what I mean? So I think
but Liverpool
that's hard.
He went.
I want to throw
Ham.
one player in. I'm not sure if he's playing the right wing. He sort of plays attacking mid. He sort of plays left wing as well. Buendia, I mean, for 30 million, you expect something decent. He scored 2 goals all season. I know he's not primarily a goal scoring player, but still, I would have wanted a bit more from him if I was Villa fans.
That's a good
shout. Just for banter, I'm going to say Buendia because apparently he was meant to be better than Odegaard.
Smith Rowe.
It's funny that, but nah. But I'm still saying Bowen. But anyway, continue, guys.
Okay, no, I think Buendia is a very good shout. To be fair, given the hype, because even I was expecting a lot more from him. You know, he's absolutely brilliant at Norwich. To be fair, not that says much, but it is where it is. Kojo, what do you reckon? Go for us.
My shout is Rafinha.
Yeah,
Rafinha is he's a tidy player. That's what I'd say. And tidy means he's okay, in my opinion. I don't think he's anything special. I understand why he's wanted, because he's kind of like one of the few players that has a bit of sauce about them. We all experienced real sauce back in the day. But no, he's okay, man. I think he's shining out a lot more in a league side, which, you know, for the football they play and all that, it's pretty to watch. But he's not a special talent, and I feel like he's been given the tag of a special talent in recent time. You know, we should be signing him. He'll be a great right winger for this club. I'm like, well, would he really? Are we sure about that? You know, I might be a bit contradictory, because obviously I was challenging Kish on Rice, because that's kind of way people, in my opinion, are rating Rafinha. But I don't watch him and see a quality they can take to a higher level, and for me to say, yeah, he deserves to be there. Quite frankly, I don't think he's that good. So I think if he goes to Bayern Munich, he'll end up like promoting.
it's Barcelona. Barcelona wanted. They've agreed.
And if he goes to Barcelona, he'll be like, well, again, he's nowhere near Saka. And if he goes to Barcelona, he'll be like Christian Teo. So that's my answer.
I think that's harsh, man. I think that's harsh.
I'm just speaking my truth, my friend.
Christian Teo, cheap emoting, man. No, I'm not having the Ziyech slander in the comments there either. Ziyech is a baller.
I mean, there's
Ziyech is a baller. He's just not what's out at Chelsea.
Right.
Even like sometimes this season he scored some vital goals. If you look back through the records and the stats this season, he scored it's like Havertz. I think Havertz gets overrated shouts, but I think he still needs a bit more time to adapt. And he has come on leaps and bounds for me. But plus that Champions League final winning goal paid his fee back there and then. He could have done nothing since. So I don't think he's in the conversation for me.
Yeah, no, absolutely. I don't know why mine's lagging stuff. I keep lagging, Kojo, just take over. Right, okay, so it's between two players. I'm surprised no one's mentioned the soccer version of LeBron James, to be fair. Like, it's just like, if there's overrated, if there's overrated, he's there. But I'm not going to go for Captain America. I've gone for someone a bit closer to home. No, it's not Salah, don't worry, Declan. I've gone for Saka. The reason I've gone for Saka, although he's been fantastic this season, don't get me wrong, but similar to a lot of English players, Rashford, Sancho, whoever you throw in there, whatever you want to throw in there, after a purple patch or whatever it may be, they get massively overhyped, massively. Like, and I think Saka's doing really well at the moment. I really like the kid. I think he's got the world at his feet, etc. But for me, people are literally putting up there as, oh, he'll come in and replace Salah, like just throwing him up with all these names. And he's had one good season. Last season, it was his breakthrough season, in my opinion. And numbers aside, his performances were quite good last season, but he wasn't consistent. This season, he's had a bit of consistency. But let's see what happens. Rashford backed 20 goals back to back. Look at him now. He's at the end of the tether. So for me, I just think Saka, I think people need to just chill out a bit carried away.
Usman, before you lag, and I hope you don't lag, I just want to remind you to a certain podcast we did a few months ago where you did clip my comment where I pretty much said quite similar things to what you said, and I think he's lagged. So that's not. No, he hasn't lagged. That's good. And you absolutely roasted me. So I just want to know what's changed, because he's gotten better, I'd say, from that point on, to where I was saying I don't think he's going to be the world beater.
Now he's definitely crushed.
Now he's definitely lagged. There you go. I'm just trying to point out the hypocrisy. Please come back. The hypocrisy in your comment there. I just want to point that out.
Oh yeah, I know what you're gonna say. So basically, Declan, again, more context. So basically, we did a podcast probably December time actually, and Cahil would want to sell his Starboy for 80 million. And I was, like baffled that you'd want to sell someone who's got so much potential. Obviously, now I'm kind of saying the polar opposite. But for me, the reason why I didn't agree with your comment is I wouldn't sell him. I'm not saying I'd sell him, but he's getting overhyped at the moment by Arsenal fan base. People are literally putting him in there with all these top players. Okay, let's just see what happens. I mean, Trent's done it for 3-4 years. That's why I didn't mention the guy's name. If Trent done it one season, then I might chuck him in the conversation. But he's back to your...
He's not defended in those 3-4 years, though, has he?
No, but yes, Trent has done it in 3 seasons.
Bro. That's a myth. That's a... Oh, you're
It's not a myth. It's not a myth. Let's not go there. It's not a myth. He's not the greatest defender. He's a world-class crosser of the ball, but he's not a great defender. I'm not having that. Let's not have that debate, please.
Yeah, anyways, I've opened a kind of worms unintentionally. Definitely intentionally, but unintentionally. But the point I'm saying is that Trent's proved himself, and that people can say what they want about him defensively, but as a right back, he's actually proved himself over seasons now. With Saka, I'm still waiting to see that. So he's still got the world at his feet. He still can be a world beater, but for me, the hype's a bit too much at the moment. But anyways, Kish, what are your thoughts? Who are you going for?
Yeah, I've got a few close ones. I mean, the obvious is Rashford, but I do think with Rashford, it's a tough one because I do actually rate him. I think he's got bags of potential, and he's had the 220 goals, like you said. The one player I'm going to pick is someone that doesn't naturally play in that position, but he has had this season, previous seasons, he has played there. Richarlison, for me, the fees that have gone off about him. Apparently, Barca made an £80 million bid for him last season. That Ancelotti, when he was at Everton, got rejected. This season, I mean, the thing is with Richarlison is every season you're waiting for him. You're waiting for Richarlison to come out and show that he's this quality player that everyone's going to see and behold, and he'll then go to Real Madrid, Bayern Munich, etc. And it just doesn't happen. In fact, most of the game you just see him arguing with the referee rather than actual quality on the pitch. And I think for that reason is why I'm going to put Richarlison in that position. I think he's desperately, desperately overrated.
No, I think that's a fantastic shout, generally. Fair play. No, I can't even rebut that. If anything, if it's a tie, I'm going to change my vote to Richarlison. Right, Cahil, it goes down to you. I think we've got Wendy. Cahil, who did you say? Kojo,
I said Bowen.
Oh, Cahil said Bowen.
Yes, Kojo.
Wendy, Kojo, who did you say again? Sorry. Kojo.
Yeah, sorry.
Oh, you said Rafinha, didn't you?
That's a Rafinha, yeah.
Okay, so I'm going to change my vote then because I don't mind.
Well, are we deciding the two? Like, is that how we're doing it?
No, so we'll do the right winger first. So basically, we're gonna have to pick. So I'll take Saka out because obviously that was just a wrong shot. Anyways, that's fine. I mean, I still stand by it, but I just don't think it's gonna get in, is it? Right. So I'll take Saka out. So we'll vote from the other four. I'm probably gonna go with Richarlison. I'm not gonna lie, I think that's the best shot of one. Because he is massively overhyped, like massively. So I don't know what if any. So we got 2 votes on Richarlison. Does anyone else want to change theirs to anyone else? Kojo, you sticking with Rafinha, or do you want to go with Bowen or Buendia? Or what are your thoughts?
Say Bowen. Make it interesting.
Would you reckon, Kojo?
He's on loose again.
Sorry, it keeps cutting off. I'm gonna say. I like that Richarlison shot.
Yeah, I like the Richarlison. We'll have 4 for Richarlison.
Right, let's go Richarlison there. It seems
unsurprising, a Liverpool fan doesn't like Richarlison.
No, I just don't rate him. I don't rate him. It's like, and also he's got that thing where like it's like Robertson.
I forgot about
if you don't support that team, you're gonna hate him. He's a dickhead.
If you liked him, it'd be weird. It'd be weird. Right, okay, let's move on to left wing. Obviously, we've got only 2 positions there. Keep getting your shouts in the chat. Obviously, slap a like, all that good stuff. Thoughts on St. Maximum? That's not bad shot.
I rate him high. So
I rate him.
We know you do. Fucking you take everyone that moves quickly.
No, I say Maximum for me is unbelievable.
Left wing. I'm gonna start on this one because it's similar to my Saka shot. To be fair, I've gone for Heung-min Son.
What? Nah, come on, man. Nah, that's a lie.
One second. Let me explain. Then you can have your rebuttal. Heung-min Son, yeah, he is the absolute. epitome of purple patch merchant. That guy loves a purple patch. Honestly, God, when he's on that purple patch, he's world class. He's world class when he's on that purple patch. But when he's just normal, like he was the other day, he gets away with shit performance because he smiled and he looks nice with his hair and shit. Like, and everyone loves the guy because he's a nice guy and whatnot. But let's be real. He doesn't do it consistently. People say. Let me finish. People say the guy's world class. He's not world class. People are comparing him like he's in this bracket with that Hazard.
He's not world class, but to say he's overrated is a joke. I'm sorry,
bro. He's not with Hazard. He's not with Sanchez. He's not world class.
If this season you're saying he's overrated. But he's got 13 league goals this season and 5 assists. Like, how is that overrated? Huh?
What? Bowen's got like.
Yeah, but how is that overrated?
Bro, numbers don't.
He's got more goals than all of your wingers combined this season.
Wow! Like Rashford got 20 goals last season. I don't give a shit. He was still terrible.
Across all competitions, and so did Son for 3 seasons in a row.
Listen to what I'm saying. He's a good player. You know I rate Son, but people say he's world class. People put him in the breath of Hazard and Sanchez. He ain't in that combo, bro. Like, he's never gonna be in that combo. He's not. He's a good player, and Kojo's correct. He's a good player, and I'm not knocking him, but he's not world class. So yeah, I've gone for Heung-min Son. That's my left winger.
Wow.
So Kish, do you want to rebuttal that? What are your thoughts?
Absolute bullshit. I'm gonna put Jack Grealish in there.
I think you're gonna put Sancho then.
No, the 100 million paid is obviously this season. Like, I've already said my pieces on Grealish on past podcasts. Give him next season, etc. But on this season alone, he unfortunately is just not done enough. He was supposed to be the difference maker, and he hasn't. He's, if anything, he's just been a passenger so far this season. And with the money and everything else involved, I think, and he's caused a lot of issues off field as well. I think you have to put Grealish in there.
But no one says he's world class though. Like, I mean,
I've never said that Son is world class, but for you to put him as an overrated player is ridiculous.
You said Son's more important to your team than Harry Kane. If that's not overrated, I don't know what is. But
if you look this season when Harry Kane wasn't playing and Son was up front, we were scoring goals and winning games.
You're right.
The whole reason why he got Manager of the Month was because Son scored in every game.
Nah, it wasn't because of Son. It was because of Bergman and shit, man.
Behave,
man. Right, Kale. I wonder who Kale's gonna vote for. Kale, what do you reckon, man?
You know what? You did make an interesting point about Mr. Inconsistent. I agree. He is quite purple patchy, and he has been purple patchy throughout his entire career at Spurs. But no, I'm gonna leave him off. I'm gonna agree with Kish. I'm gonna go Jack Grealish. I don't understand this idea that £100 million player has to get a second season before he starts becoming good. Regardless, if you're £100 million sterling, you need to be good off the jump. I'm talking 15 goals minimum, and it's not like he's in a crap side. He's at Manchester City where they score goals for fun. They've scored 100 goals multiple times over the seasons, and he has contributed absolutely nothing to that side. And you're telling me that he needs to wait for Pep to integrate him into this side? Big man, you need to step up your game in order to realize that you've been given a golden opportunity here to win multiple titles. You're meant to be the difference maker. You're meant to be the guy that steps him over the Champions League line, and he has been absolutely shocking this season.
I mean, I don't think anyone's going to disagree with that. Souness might though, because he's not called Pogba, but that's a different.
That's a different
Kojo, what do you reckon? I'm surprised Pogba and Bruno's not being mentioned. I'm not going to lie. I was expecting he's one of them
because Pogba and Bruno are overrated.
I mean,
I'm not having it.
Yeah. Anyways, we're not going to Man United. Kojo, what do you reckon?
Can't lie. I did agree with Son at first, but then when he brought up Grealish, I couldn't disagree with that.
Because that is so boring.
No. It's not about boring. Hear me out, bro. Hear me out. Listen. Firstly, in my mind, I was actually thinking about saying Maximan because I've never seen a guy do so little and get hyped for so much. He just wears a Gucci band and that's about it. But it's actually drip downing. But
Drip down.
But the thing about Grealish, yeah, who is
Wilfred's shout.
That's a great
Zaha's
shout.
not a shout.
Zaha's not really rated that highly. He was rated highly for like a year.
He's a good MMA fighter, to be fair to him.
The thing about Grealish, yeah, now his career kind of reminds me of someone to an extent anyway, because he wasn't a hometown hero for his other clubs, but a pretty boy, likes, he's supposed to be a star, they call him the next David Beckham and all that, and I was just thinking to myself, rah, he's like a Birmingham Bentley.
I'll call him David Bentley.
David Bentley, yeah, remember that? Yeah.
That goal that he scored against Arsenal, banger.
And that's fine. It's a lovely goal.
Almunia in the net, world class. Remember that goal?
It was fantastic.
This guy. But yeah, no, he's not special. He's not special. For £100 million, I'm paying for special. And he's very, very average. For me, he's about a £30 million player at best. But Kish, I'm not gonna lie to you that is my
40 million.
30. But Kish, before I obviously, that is my guy. But quickly on Son, yeah, I'm gonna say this right now. He is super inconsistent. You man love him for too much, and I'm gonna tell you this right now. If your team actually starts finding it right in the transfer market and buy the players that's gonna take you further, he ain't gonna be one of them.
I completely and 100% disagree, but yeah.
Oh, I know. That's why you guys are always also Rans, but it is what it is.
I mean, to be honest, it's just weird because our best moments in our Champions League has been down to Son as well.
Absolutely. And then when we get to finals,
Lucas Moura is your best moment in Champions League.
Bro,
it was Lucas in the semis, and then who was it in the quarters? It was Heung-min Son. Do you know who I am? Do you remember when he said that?
No, he did. Yeah, he did.
To be honest, Llorente's Fai had more of an important role than Son in that semis.
Thank you.
To be fair, Son was single-handedly terrorizing that City team in that.
Hey, Kish, you know what? Kish, you're right. He does that in quarterfinals, and then when he gets to the final, they blame Harry Kane, but he's more of a ghost than Casper. It is what it is. So, yeah. Shout out Son.
They all equally go missing. If you're going to say that about Son, you might as well say that about Kane.
Oh, no.
He's never had a shot.
No.
Kane has never had a shot in the
This
final.
is what you guys do. This is what you guys do. I just said it. Harry Kane always gets the blame, but there's one man that's also supposed to be the star of the team that does absolutely nothing.
I'm not saying one man gets the blame. I'm saying that every person gets in the blame for Tottenham. It's not just Heung-min Son. You can't then just say one or the other.
We're talking about Korean Cena. You guys see me in the finals, hey boy.
You know the funny, no, but you know what the maddest thing is, yeah, about people argue about Heung-min Son, yeah. You've just got to look at the guy's numbers. They don't lie. Like they genuinely don't lie. You can't do 1 or 2 seasons that are decent.
Hey, Kel, say it again.
Class is overrated.
Kel, say that again.
Theo Walcott scored 100 Premier League goals.
You can't lie about the guy's numbers.
Theo Walcott scored 100 Premier League goals. What does that mean, bro?
Thank you.
What do you mean? Theo Walcott scored 100 Premier League goals. Do you want to take your head out of the bin? Have a look again. That's all I'm saying.
Oh, sorry.
Crouch has got 100.
He's got 100 goals.
About 679 games.
Lukaku scored so many goals, but in big games, he's David. He's Marcus Bent. Yeah, man.
He's not even made the team, Kish. For no reason.
Thierry Henry never scored in a final, but he's overrated then, yeah? Just saying. Never scored in the final. But
he never scored in the final, but he performed in the final. Say less.
But performed in the final. Where was he in that Champions League final for Arsenal?
Oh, I'm sorry. Did he not play for? Oh yeah, one Arsenal final. What about France? I wonder. What did they win with France? What did he win, by the way?
Oh, sorry. Did he perform in the final? Because I look back at them games and he didn't.
Oh, okay. All right, go watch it, and we're gonna come back and run that.
The best thing Henry's done for France is that handball to knock Republic of Ireland out of the World Cup.
Oh, and be their all-time goal
scorer, bro. All because we said Son is overrated. All because he's talking about Thierry Henry and Son.
In a time when has critical. Oh, come on, man.
A player has to have goals in
and
big
apparently
games.
Son's not overrated.
He's not
Look, he's comparing him to Thierry Henry.
I'm not comparing. I'm just basing it on people's logic.
I'm just winding you up, brother. Right, okay, let's move on, Kish, before you burst the blood vessel. Right, say Maximum starts for Man United. Don't disrespect Gucci, mate. But Grealish can't be in this team before the likes of Rashford. I mean, the Rashford, I'm surprised. No one said Rashford, and also.
But Rashford's being torn apart. That's why no one rates him right now. He's getting ripped into, so you can't.
No one rates him.
Undeservedly so.
But it's overrated, and Rashford's not going.
Yeah, there you go.
Also, Kojo, he wishes I'll be getting on midfielders, which would be devastating. Declan, we're going to go to you. I just want to hear what you want to say. Baka is in the chat. So, Baka, just so you know, Grealish has got in the team. So, I know you hate Grealish with a passion, so you'd be very happy with that. Declan, so who was your vote? So, just out of curiosity, who would you go for?
It's got to be Grealish, hasn't it? Like, he hasn't hit the heights that people were going to say he was going to hit. And as Kaya said, £100 million player, he shouldn't be needing a season to fit in. He should just be boom. And he's putting up them numbers, better numbers than he was putting up in that Aston Villa side. And he hasn't really done that.
You know what? Fair enough. I mean, if it was last season, then Rashford would definitely be in the team. As this comment suggests here, people were saying he's better than Mbappe. So, yeah, Rashford would have been in. We've got someone in our WhatsApp group that generally still believes that Lord have mercy on us. It's mad. Anyways, let's move on to the last position. We're going to do manager, but there's no point because it's obviously Steven Gerrard. But anyways, let's move on. Oh god! Anyway, striker.
He jumped so far forward. He was about to jump through the screen, bro.
Declan was about to kill me. We've not got any Liverpool players in it, so I'm a bit deviled about that, but I can't really put one in now.
No, the most actually just overrated.
Speaking of 100 million, Kish, that's all I'm going to say. Kish, you can go first. Speaking of 100 million, who do you want to put in strike?
I'm actually going to put in Mikel Antonio, to be honest.
Yes.
I was told at the beginning of the season that he's better than Harry Kane. He's one of the best strikers in the Premier League. And then as his so-called goal-scoring drought came into play, apparently he's not even a striker, and he's a converted winger to a striker after his drought. And then I was told
he's a right wing back as well.
Then I was told that he's tired, and that's why he's not scoring goals. He's shit. He's overrated. He's literally a B-Tech Emil Heskey. In fact, don't disrespect Emil Heskey's name. He had one patch where he scored 2 goals in 2 games or whatever he was, got overhyped, then got told that he's better than Harry Kane. Harry Kane needs to shut up. And I'm sorry, anyone that comes out with these sort of comments, overrated.
Wow. I mean, you just disrespected Heskey and Antonio in the same clip.
He's got 100 Premier League goals.
Kale will come to you. In fact, no, Declan will come to you because you were last time. So, who are you going for?
I don't know if this is controversial or not, but Raul Jimenez. Like, obviously, he had the head injury and stuff, and obviously, like, just glad he's back on a football pitch more than anything. But like, he's seen as one of these like top Premier League strikers, and he's not putting up the numbers to back it up this season. So, also, I suppose DCL sort of fits in that mould as well. Everyone sees him as this top striker. I know he's been injured this season a lot, but where's he been? What's he really done? And I think last season as well, if you watch, all his goals were basically tap-ins.
Yeah.
Also, just this comment, Jota has been the best Portuguese player in the Premier League this season. Absolutely.
Oh, is that why you don't like Bernardo Silva? It all makes sense now.
No, that's actually not it. That's not it. It was the Salah comparisons that got me.
Okay, Jimenez. Okay, I like that. It's different. I think Calvin mentioned. Obviously, you just mentioned that. Definitely, I think Calvin-Lewin is a shout because I remember last season we got off to a great start and everyone was talking about how he's better than everyone. We've got Lukaku shouting here. Lukaku's been poor this season. This is my favorite comment. I just love it. Harry Kane better than Arnan and Riazzi's won that Audi Cup.
I mean, that is the pinnacle of the sport, the Audi Cup, innit? So,
to be fair, really? Most Chelsea haven't won it all because they've not won the Audi Cup, so they can't start singing that. Kojo, we'll come to you. I think obviously we know what Kale's going to say. He's going to say. Okay, but Kojo, what are you going for?
The DCL was a big shout because that guy is, oh man, he's terrible, man. But I mean, after ripping him all season and kind of doing like I told you show, it has to be Romelu. It has to be Romelu Lukaku, as my cousin likes to call him, Rock Nation Royston Drenthe. I've never seen, again, you sign a guy for 100 million and all the excuses of you have to play this way and that way for this guy. It's an absolute nonsense. His goal scoring record is fantastic. His big game record is abhorrent. It's appalling. it's not good enough. For £100 million, for £75 million, for £50 million, 3 fees that he was paid for by Man United, Everton, and now Chelsea. He's not performed in any big games. And that pretty much sums him up. He's pretty much like Belgium, right? Like Belgium, they're big, the Belgian generation. Then they get to the semi-final and they become Bolivia. It's one of them ones, you know. It's just what they're about. And he's just not good enough. That's as simple as it gets for me. He can score the goals he wants against your likes of Hull back in the day, your likes of your Sunderlands back in the day, and all those teams. They work for West Brom every now and then, but he is not the man to lead you to any sort of title. And people can bring up Serie A. Well, it looks like right now Inter Milan are not missing him because what's the rest of Drenthe again? Edin Dzeko and Lautaro Martinez are running the show just as normal, and they're not really missing.
You want to listen to that?
Yeah, well, you know, they wanted some, they got some. So it is what it is. Look, he's not that good. Inter Milan don't even want him if he leaves. I don't know where he goes next. And I think the best way to sum it up is Kai Havertz, who is not a striker, is a better striker for Chelsea than Romelu Lukaku.
I mean, you've said it so eloquently. I definitely won't use that much eloquence when I mention his name later. KL.
You're gonna call him.
Oh, don't worry, I'm ready. This striker position, it was just complete for decoration because his name's already in the list. I've already put it down. KL, who would you go for?
If it's a bygone conclusion, then screw it. But no, I'm gonna agree with Kish. I think Mikel Antonio has been overhyped to the heavens, man. I think he's sitting on 8 goals, and he got those 8 goals in the first 2 months of the Premier League season. He's dropped off the mountainside, man. He's been absolutely dreadful. And the simple fact of the matter is, we told these West Ham fans that he would drop off because of the fixture list. We told them, and he said, nope. He's there. He's better than Lacazette, apparently. Okay, whatever. He's a better finisher than Lacazette because toe punts and tapping makes you better than Lacazette. But it is what it is. He's not that good. I rate him because he does play well. He plays hard for West Ham. He does his thing. But just because you do your thing, do your job, does not make you a good striker. And he's not a good striker.
Wow, okay. So it looks like Declan, you're going to get the deciding vote. But before we get that, I'm going to just give my try to convince you to vote Lukaku.
He was already going to go in anyway. No,
I'm just going to re-jog your memory. Let's take it back to summer. Let's just revisit what happened in summer. So obviously, you know, Liverpool, you fell off a cliff, etc. I wrote you off. I'm not going to lie. I said you're going to come fourth. Massive L for me. But what did happen was, a Belgian striker came to Chelsea. All we heard last season, Timo Werner's missing all the chances. We just need a gunman. We just need a striker and we will win the league comfortably. So they thought, okay, fair enough. Who can we get? He's got Chelsea rules, 100 million. Put it on the table. Bring him home. Lukaku, I'm back. Thought he was Arnold Schwarzenegger. He fucking ain't. But it is what it is. He came back to Stamford Bridge to try and bring the title to Chelsea. And Fred has got more goals than him this season in the league. So let me just make it clear. Lukaku, no, in Italy, he smashed it. Wait. I'm not making it up. It's facts.
Now look at Kill's face.
I mean, people say Fred's are overhyped for 50 million. I mean, he's half the price and he's got more goals. So it is what it is.
Are you serious?
No, these are facts. I'm not lying. Lukaku's only goals came against Ben White. That's why he's in the team. So the fact that he let Lukaku score, he's in the team. But yeah, the point being is this guy came in to win them the league. Timo Werner's missing sitters week in, week out. Lukaku's here. We're winning the league. Liverpool and XYZ step aside. Man United, whoever it was. You know, it's Chelsea's league, and he's come in, and as Kojo very eloquently said, Havertz is not a striker, and he's a better striker. So, the rest of my case, Declan, 2 votes for Lukaku, 2 votes for Antonio. I know you said Jimenez, but obviously we need you to decide for the 2 of these. So, who are you going for? What are your thoughts? Give us a thought process.
I just want to give a shout out to back here in the comments who's called him the Nigerian R9, Odion Igalo. He said he makes it. Sorry, he said he makes the Nigerian R9, Odion Igalo look good. That made me chuckle. But I think, Lukaku has to go in it.
We've done it!
With the lack of contributions he's had this season for that. Like we said with Grealish, about the 100 mil. same kind of thing, really. You've got to come in and start firing them goals in straight away and consistently on a long-term basis. So yeah, Lukaku.
Oh, I've been corrected in the chat. Apparently, Lukaku's got more goals than Fred. I don't know. We'll have to double check that.
Yeah,
but it's
even
close.
if that's two more goals than Fred's fucking.
No, you said league goals. You said league goals, not all comps. I need to make sure
yeah,
that.
true. I'll have to double check. I'm pretty sure it's got the same, or if not less. The goals against Arsenal don't count because it's Ben White. But anyways, we have come to the end of the show. That means we have completed our team. So this is the team that we've all agreed, and obviously this isn't everyone's opinion. I need to make sure this is clear on Twitter, but this isn't everyone's opinion. This was democracy. So starting with goalkeeper, Ramsdale. I mean, that it goes without saying. Right back, we've gone for Kyle Walker. The two centre backs, absolutely fantastic. Gone for Mings and Ben White. Left back, we've gone for Luke Shaw. I mean, that goes without saying. Midfield, this is a spicy one. Jorginho, Bernardo Silva, and Ruben Neves. Someone's gonna get triggered about that, but it is what it is. And then up front, Richarlison on the right, Grealish on the left, and Lukaku with his Timberlands in stride. Just to finish it off, just for fun, very quickly, one name, people. Who is the most overrated manager in the league? Obviously, it's completely irrelevant.
Ralph Rangnick.
That's fine. He's not a manager. He's an interim.
Yeah, exactly. He wasn't a manager, and then he came in as a manager. It's like...
Right, okay, we got one shout for Ralph. Fair enough. I'm not going to oppose that. He's not going to be in 2 months. Kish, who are you going for?
Steven Gerrard. His highlights is him chewing gum in a cool way. So that's about it.
Cahil, what are you going for?
Graham Potter.
Ooh, Graham Potter. Okay. Kojo, what are you going for?
That's why Kale's my boy. It's Graham Potter, man. Absolutely.
Okay, fair enough. We've got 2 Graham Potters. We've got 1 Gerrard and 1 Ralph, which is fair enough. I'm going to have to go for the man that's cool as ice. Looks straight down the barrel and chews gum. Walks backwards. Stevie G. I think he's done a good job, to be fair. But yeah, he's
I'm going Graham Potter then. So Graham Potter.
There you have it. Graham Potter's the most overrated manager in the league. You love.
I'll do it, Gerrard.
Oh, listen, I can't recreate the slip because fuck. I can't do it. Oh shit! No, that to be fair to Gerrard, he did score this last game. It was similar to Gaz's goal that he scored the other day. I don't know if you saw it, the way Stoke let him score and shit. But it is what it is. If you know, you know. Drop a like, subscribe to the channel. As always, before we go, we let the people shout out their socials, all that good stuff. Kish, we'll start with you first and foremost. Let the people know. Someone's put Arteta in here. Actually, I forgot about him. But anyways,
yeah, at Kishindu on Instagram, Twitter, all socials, and for weekly content, please like, share, subscribe, all the good stuff for Usman Talks United, and also for 3 Midfield as well.
Yes, the boys. Kill, let the people find. Oh, that's Kojo actually, because he normally does it. Kojo, let the people know where they can find you. I think Kill's had a rough night. I think Kojo, let the people know where they can find you and Kill.
3 Midfield podcast on all the audios and your socials. 3 Midfield. That's number 3 Midfield. 3 Midfield podcast on YouTube. Obviously, my one's Kojo 3 Midfield and Cahil's one. Kill, do you use your?
I don't have one. No.
Okay, then yeah, just 3 Midfield. And actually, since we're here as well, I know he's going to do it himself. But shout out Declan because he does the crazy kickoff. Is that what it's called?
Crazy about kickoff, yeah.
Crazy about kickoff. Yeah, it's a good show as well. So when you get a chance to do that,
bro. It's crazy _ kickoff on Twitter, and I'm at Declan Car 96 on Twitter. Thanks for having me on the show.
Absolute pleasure, man. Listen, everyone's social will be down below. They're currently not there, so we'll obviously put that in as soon as this finishes. But listen, it's been an absolute pleasure. It's great to have you on, Declan, because on a level, though, we've needed a Liverpool fan for a while because we just take the piss out of Liverpool when all our teams are shit, so it doesn't really make sense. So it's good to have a bit of balance for a change. But yeah, Stevie G has won the most overrated manager. It's been your boys, man. Thank you very much.